Hey babes, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. I know I say that all the time, but I'm gonna be doing this beautiful blue look. It is so blown out and very like P. Louise-esque, if you guys know who that is. But on top of that, I'm gonna be using a ton of new products in this video. That part of it is gonna be the star of the show right here, which is the LA Girl Hot Hot Heat palette. It is such a beautiful palette, and they also have like the sister palette to this one, which is a more neutral, like bronzy palette. But this is what this one looks like. This is the star of the show in this video, and I can't wait to share with you guys this look using this palette and also a few other products. Also guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that post notification bell if you haven't already, so that you are notified every single time I upload. And if you have already subscribed, I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of the fam. And yeah guys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so you guys can see I have one eye finished. I am totally obsessed. So let's just go ahead and get started. I will mention the new products that I'm using as we go, because not every product is new to me, obviously. So I'm starting out with the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. I actually totally forgot, but in this eye, I actually laid down the MAC soft ochre paint pot first, and then I placed the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas to cover up my brow and then blended it down. But because this is such a hard product and this is such a creamy product, I don't think I can go backwards. So just to let you guys know, I did use the MAC one on this eye as well. I'm going to be using the Ulta Beauty Flat Concealer Brush. This is my favorite brush for this. And basically, I'm just going to be blending this out really far into the inner corner and cutting my brow with it. Okay, so our base is laid down. I'm going to have to pat over again right before I start, but I'm super excited to share with you guys this LA Girl Hot Hot Heat eyeshadow palette. It is so beautiful. They have two in this collection. They have this one, and then they have a more like warm bronzy palette version of it. It has 16 shades, I believe, 16 or 17. It is huge. It is really big. If you guys can see, this is like next to my face, and I love that the pan sizes are as big as they are, because the palette is like $15 or $16 after tax, or it's like $15, $16 after tax, something like that. But it comes with this huge mirror that is just like such good quality. I love that this is like glossy. Like honestly, this feels like a high-end palette. I ended up picking up this more colorful version of it because of this shade right here. I'm gonna do just like a quick little swatch for you guys, so that you guys get an idea of why the heck I fell in love with this palette. I'm obsessed. It's the most beautiful like teal green, dark green eyeshadow I've ever seen, and I normally don't like eyeshadows that color, but I fell in love. That's the reason I picked this one up. But the names are on the back of the palette, so I am gonna go ahead and tell them to you guys. So I'm gonna be starting out with this super pale shade. These are the two of the matte shades in the palette. This is mostly a shimmer palette, but these two right here are really great for beginning part of your eye. So I'm going to use this one on the top of my brow bone to start to like, I guess, set everything because of the base that we ended up using. Because this with blue, you can't really use like a great transition shade, I feel like. I think that you know, using a white is going to be something that's really going to be helpful. So this is in the shade Tropics, and I'm literally just going to be dusting it on the top of the brow bone area, like to set it. And then I'm going to be bringing it down just a little bit, like just to like right here. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Sunlight, which is basically just like a hair darker and a little bit more like mauvey pink, muted. Like you can literally not even really see it, but I really think it looks good as like our transition shade here. So if you look at this palette, I noticed that even though it has these three amazing blues, there's not really another shade in here that is a good transition shade. So we are also going to be using, in addition to this palette, we're going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette as well. So yeah, just giving you guys a heads up, this is the other palette that we're going to be using mostly for this shade right here. This is the shade Jada, and this is from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. And then we will also be using the shade Beam, which is this one right here. There's two of them, but I'm gonna go with the more intense white one for the brow bone highlight. I'm gonna pick up the shade Jada first, which is this one right here. It is a matte shade, which is something that I feel that was missing from the other palette, because none of these shades in the other palette were matte. They were in these tones. Like I said, that palette is mostly a shimmer palette, so I do feel that even though it's really beautiful, you're definitely gonna need some like supplemental eyeshadows. So I'm just gonna take this really fluffy brush. You can see it's kind of flat, but it happens to just be the eyeshadow brush that I tend to use for looks like this. So I'm diffusing it really lightly on the top and packing on most of the pigment right in the center of the crease. This shade is going to help us blend everything else out, and you can see that I have kind of dragged it out. I know things look super messy right now, but it's gonna get better, I promise. I'm just gonna take the same brush that had that white shade and just kind of use it to clean up the very, very far outer edges. I haven't done my brows or my makeup at all other than my eyes, so that I can go over my brows, I can have fallout and stuff, and just wipe it away. Next, I'm gonna go back into the Hot Heat palette, and I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It is the shade Romance. It is not like matte, but it's not a shimmer shade either. It's kind of like a matte shade that has a few sparkles throughout it. And I'm gonna go in with this teeny tiny Wet n Wild brush. I actually completely forgot to tell you guys, but these brushes are new in my collection. This is what they look like. I literally picked up 5 of them. I got them when I was in Minnesota at the Mall of America. They had a huge Five Below there, and they had a really big Wet n Wild section. And this is what they look like. They are just their crease brush. I will give you guys the number on the back. It is C7H7. The ones I get from Wet n Wild normally is this one right here, and it's also called their crease brush. But you can really see the size difference. And like these are all fluffed out. It's not that they got any less fluffy, but they're just a little bit smaller. I'm gonna take that shade Romance and really just pick it up. You can see that I really did bring it into the inner corner here as well, because when I cut the, oh, see, it got on my nose right there. When I cut this crease, I really want this shade to show as well. I think that when you have, like, you bring one of your darkest shades right here into the inner corner when you're cutting your crease, it really makes so much of a difference. I'm just really messing it, like, not messing it up. Oh my god, I was saying messing it up. I'm just messily like throwing this in the crease of my eye, but then you can see that I have this really harsh crease right here, so I'm gonna go back in with my previous brush, and I'm placing this brush, because it's so large, I'm placing it right in the crease of my eye so that only like a hair of it is covering the part that is like white and the part that is darker. Another thing that you can do is turn your brush on its side to blend it out. If you really feel like you need to, and I didn't really do this on the other eye, you can, oh my god, I just broke it, you guys. Why does this happen to me? Because I was holding it like this to show you guys, I just broke it. You can see where I snapped it right there. Literally, this is my first time using it. So it's really sturdy packaging. I bet that wouldn't happen to normal people who aren't like, oh, here you go, like, look at it. I'm sorry, I totally got derailed there. I'm gonna go back in with the shade Tropics, which is just that like really nice nudie shade. And I'm gonna just toss it right on the edge of all of that teal. So next I'm gonna go back in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm gonna take the shade Beam, which is that really intense highlighty shade that I showed you guys earlier. And I just took this shade right against the brow. So then what we're gonna do is pick up a flat shader brush. This is what a flat shader brush looks like. I actually got this and a few others just like it on a pack of them on Amazon, no, sorry, eBay a few years ago. And I'm gonna start doing this now, but we're gonna touch it up towards the end of the look. And I'm basically just going to pounce it on this outer portion of my eye. You can see how extremely messy I'm being. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lightly like flick it upwards into this like odd V looking shape. And then I'm gonna go back in with that more precise Wet n Wild brush with the shade Romance again, which is this one right here. Just gonna dip back into that one to blend this out. I feel like the black in this palette is really, really good. Like, it's such high quality. Like, I really feel like some blacks, you just don't get quite the same payoff. And with this one, I really feel like they give you every bang of your buck. So again, things will get really messy. I don't know if you guys can tell, there's like a few harsh lines around here and stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend my brush into it again. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take my Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. I've used this so many times in my videos. And that same Ulta brush to cut my crease. Normally what I do to cut my crease is I lay down the product here and then I look up, wiggle my eye, and that's how I do it. But I really wanted to exaggerate my crease. You can see when I just lick it like my camera normally. You guys have got to hear that rain. That is so loud. I'll wait. So I don't feel like that's gonna stop anytime soon. Hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too much, but basically what I'm gonna do, because this has gotten a little bit of blue on it now, I'm gonna actually place the product on the back of my hand. So here it is. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to lay it down right here, but I'm actually gonna start the crease there, which is like literally where I would normally highlight my inner corner. And I'm literally creating my own crease, like exactly how I want it. I am literally faking it with makeup. I would love to have huge eyelids, but like obviously I don't. So towards the outer part right here, I'm literally just patting and wiping off the excess product so that it kind of like blends into the shades that I already have laid down. So now I've kind of created like a teal base for my eyeshadow, but I'm gonna go back in with the shade Beam from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And this is actually another Wet n Wild brush. This is like a really thin flat shader brush from them, and I'm gonna pick up so much. Like I'm literally stabbing my brush, swirling it in there really hard. I'm picking up so much of the shade Beam so that I can press it into this part of the eye. And I'm using a brush like this that's flat so that I don't mess up the cut crease that I've already laid. I'm taking the white shade literally all the way to this top part here and just make sure that it's like really packed on so that it looks shimmery. I'm gonna pick up more of the black shade, which is Serenity, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did earlier and just repack it back on. Here I'm not gonna be as messy because we're getting kind of down to the end of the look. I'm gonna go back in with the shade of Romance, which is this dark green shimmery shade that we've been using, and I'm going to blend out this outer corner of my eye here. Then I'm gonna take the shade Jada, which I'm not really, this is the brush that I used for the shade Jada, but it doesn't have any more pigment on it, and I'm just gonna blend that line out right there. So next I'm gonna go with this shade right here, super teal, super shimmery, and I'm kind of pouncing this one right in the middle and at the beginning of the eye. So this is what it's looking like now. So you guys could leave it here if you want to just have like a softer effect here. Not that this look is soft whatsoever. So next we're gonna go in with the star of the show. It is this super beautiful teal intense shade. It's the shade Maui. I literally haven't even sprayed my brush and it just lays down like a dream. I'm gonna go in with my NYX Bear With Me spray and just spray a little bit and then pick some more up and just lay it right over top. So then the next thing I did is I went in with some liner. This is just a felt tip liner. So on the inner corner, I'm really just doing it so that my lashes don't get too much fallout on them and so that everything looks complete. But then out on this far edge, I'm gonna make sure to like literally wing it out and like as high as I go, like I'm making it really thick. So then at this point, what I did was I went right back in with that black shadow from earlier and I'm just picking it up and pressing it on top of this area so that it looks like as if my eyeliner just dissipated into this black shadow. I think that looks so gorgeous. Make sure to go back in with the shade of Romance, which is that dark teal from the LA Girl palette we've been using, and blend it out. That is the top of the eye complete. Basically, obviously we need to go in with lashes. So these are new lashes. I was at Target the other day and I was just gonna buy like any random whatever lashes, but I came across these. These are Zoe Sweet lashes, and if you guys can tell, they're like super wispy and they get bigger on this outer edge right here, which I love. These are synthetic 3D foam ink and they are reusable. These are super cute. These are in the style No Filter, and I love this packaging. Like I feel like mermaid vibes from it. Love the rainbow. This is what they look like. They're super fluffy and full, and I'm actually just gonna go ahead and pop those on and we'll come right back on together to finish up the face. All right guys, so now I'm ready to work on the face. I did do the bottom of both eyebrows after I was done with the eyes, and these are the lashes on. I like that you can still totally see the eye makeup, but that they're still like fluttery and really flirty on the ends and everything. Also, I did put some black eyeliner on the top of my waterline. Now I'm super excited to get into the makeup. I have a ton of new products to share with you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my face. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Rose Primer Serum. This is not new to me. Next, I'm gonna go in with a new sponge today. I think it nicely matches my eye makeup, so that's awesome. This is from the Target brand and I love how big and juicy it feels. I didn't know how it was going to be. It was like $3.99. So, but anyway, I had another one of these and I still have some of it left, but I had a different like flavor of it. So I got a different scent this time. This is the Green Tea I Heart Revolution Fixing Spray. Love it, and I love the way that these smell. They're so nice. So next, that is new to me, is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. It is oil-free, undetectable, medium to full coverage foundation. Hydrating, long wear, photo-friendly, non-comedogenic. I think that means that it like doesn't clog your pores. Infused with coconut water, alpine rose, hyaluronic acid, whatever. We're gonna just go ahead and test it. I have the shade Natural Beige, and I am not self-tanned right now. This is just my natural glow here. Wow, I feel like this, I feel like I picked up my self-tan shade, I'm not gonna lie. So I might just have to lighten it with foundation, but I love that it has a pump. I love the bottle. I know I'm like super late. This looks like so bougie to me, this packaging. This foundation retails for $39 if I'm not mistaken. I am gonna be trying it out with this sponge for the first time today. So if I hate it, I'm blaming it on the sponge. Oh, that's one pump. One pump is really tiny. I want to try to not do too much of it. I have used this foundation once before, and I actually used it on a bride, and it was like her favorite foundation. So, oh, actually this is what a full pump looks like. I feel like the other one might have just not been out all the way yet, I guess. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really don't like this sponge. I thought I would like it. You know, some of the sponges that are done by other brands are really good. This one doesn't make the cut. It is like awesome because it gets really big, but the problem is that it soaks up a lot of the product, I feel like. And obviously I haven't used the foundation before, but this is the Target sponge, and this sponge is not gonna make it into my like best sponge video because honestly it's just like soaking up all of the product. It's not cute. So I'm gonna grab a different sponge. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with a new sponge, and this is the Morphe one. Maybe I just hate this foundation, you guys. What? It like literally disappeared. I'm gonna try it with a brush. Okay guys, so I did another full pump and I didn't like the brush. So the brush literally, I feel like didn't do much for this foundation either. I don't know, like I had to build it up quite a bit to get to like the coverage I wanted. Like I really like the way that it looks now that it's all built up, but it's definitely medium to buildable. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Honestly, don't know if I'm gonna keep it. It's a really nice shade match for me. I could definitely go like a little tanner with this and it'd be like my tan shade, but it's also a pretty decent shade for like my not super tan. So I'm just gonna go in with some regular concealer. I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible one. I've used this one before. It's nothing new to me, but what is new is this Morphe Bake and Set Banana Powder, but this was $12. I got it when I was in Minnesota. They have a Morphe store at the Mall of America. I was super excited for that. So looks really good. I hope I really like it. Oh wow, I got a ton of product out. I have here my powder puff, which is how I like to like set my under eye. This foundation looks really good though. It looks like a natural finish. It's not too matte. Oh, I forgot this concealer dries really fast. Normally I would only do one eye at a time, but whatever, here we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. Oh, that's a lot of powder. My sponge picked up a ton of it. Hopefully this looks like I want it to. It doesn't look too banana-y, if you know what I mean. There are some that look very banana-y. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and set it, and then we'll come back to see how this actually ended up looking under the eyes. So far so good with the powder. It looks more yellow on camera, I think, than it does in person. In person, it just kind of looks bright. So I'm just gonna disperse that product and blend it out all over my face. I will say it did leave the skin looking super, super flawless. So I'm gonna go in with my Morphe bronzer. This is the Glamour Bronze one in the shade Icon. This is not new to me, but it is a favorite of mine. I think they still sell it, if I'm not mistaken, but I know it is a limited edition product. It launched kind of at the beginning of this summer, if I'm not mistaken. So next, I already did some little bit of contouring as well, just in this outer portion right here, but I'm gonna go with the Makeup Revolution Glow Revolution. Makeup Revolution is easily becoming one of my favorite brands. I don't know if you guys could tell. I love this product to make everything shimmery and like super glowy and bronzy for the summertime. I'm gonna go ahead and set all these powders down. I will say this green tea scent of this isn't my favorite. Like I love the formula, but in comparison to the other one that I have, I think it's like guava maybe, I like that one better. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my OG Wet n Wild highlighter. This is in the shade Precious Petals. Like literally I'm putting this everywhere. So if you're sitting at home thinking, this girl's dousing herself in highlight, you are correct. I am indeed doing so, but you know, to each their own. I know I've said that many times because I've had some people come at me for it, and you know what? It's just makeup. I will be, in fact, putting it under my eyes. I'm also gonna go in with this Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer. I love products like this that are like those super glowy bronzers. And I'm gonna put this between that highlight and the bronzer that I have on. Next, it is time for a blush. And I think this blush palette is like super appropriate for this like super mermaidy blue vibes we have going on. This is the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio in the shade Fair Light. I'm gonna go with the shade Scorcher for this one, which is this like super orangey one over here. It's like super peachy. I'm gonna go in with my Amrezy highlight. The reason I like to do that initial highlight first and then blush and then this is because the initial highlight becomes like an undertone to your blush rather than being a blush topper. I kind of use it as a blush underneath. I kind of do the, you know, it's a blush topper, but I just kind of do it in a different order. And now we can move on to the lower lash line. I feel like I literally went through my entire makeup routine without even touching the lower lash line. I actually think I left it, but I had a really nice blue eyeliner. Oh, I didn't leave it. Okay, here it is. So I have it two. I have a really, really bright one and then I have a darker one. And for some reason, I feel like I'm gonna go... This one is in the shade Emerald and I got it from a BoxyCharm. It's in the shade Emerald and it's from the brand Bodyography. I'm also gonna take it like on this lower half of my eye as well. So I am loving the way this pencil works. Normally, like, I didn't even try it that day, like swatched it on my hand, but I didn't really try it. And I think it looks so good. Like, I'm glad I kept it because honestly, for the right look, it definitely pulls everything together. So I'm gonna go back in with that dark green shade and I'm gonna just smoke the crap out of my lower lash line. So then I think that it was like missing something really like intense. So then I'm gonna go in with this super blue shade right here. Literally just on this inner corner. Number one, I think it makes my eyes like really pop, but I also have this LA Girl, again, neon liner. It is like their blue neon one. And I think this one would look so perfect like on this inner corner here. So now I'm just gonna do some mascara on the lower lash line really quick and then finish my brows and then we can move on to lips. I'm just gonna quickly line my lips with my favorite lip liner. This is from LA Girl as well. This is their Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Cafe. So this is my lips lined. I did go ahead and bronze up on the bottom to make them a little bit juicier. I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. lipstick in the shade Touch of Nude. This is their Beautifully Bare lipsticks, I think. And then I'm gonna go in with the So Juicy Lip Gloss from ColourPop. I have mine in the shade She's Here. I love that gloss. I think it's so beautiful. And then just on the center, I'm gonna throw on a little bit of my e.l.f. lip plumping gloss in the shade Champagne Glam. I just think that glossy lips make your look so juicy and complete and just like so plump. But yeah guys, so this is the completed look. I'm so happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up down below and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.